Now, if you've been watching my videos consistently since the start of the Martin Thubameni transfer saga, you know what Liverpool was like, can't just fucking... Anyway, if you've been watching my videos from the start, you will know that I've had an opinion from the off regarding why Liverpool Football Club leaked their interest in the player. If you haven't seen that, I'm going to try and go over that in this video and remind people about that. This is why I'm calm about whether the deal progresses, happens or not, is because I believe that Liverpool Football Club will have a player stacked should this not happen. And by stacked, I mean like a deal that they know they can push through relatively easily, right? A plan B, possibly even a plan C. And it is something that Liverpool Football Club do, right? Think about Jamal Lewis a few years ago. I can't remember how many years ago it was, to be honest, but what my memory's like. Jamal Lewis, Liverpool looked like they were going to sign him. It was like this. It was constantly Jamal Lewis. And out of nowhere, they signed Tsimikas. So they played those two camps off each other. They knew that they could snap one of them up if they wanted to. And that's exactly what happened. And that's the best example I can give you of what I think is happening here. When Liverpool Football Club came out and leaked via Paul Joyce, as some of you might think that, no, the club don't tell anybody this and that. Wise up, right? They leaked it through Paul Joyce. We know he's the main man to listen to, and David Ornstein. But they leaked it through Joyce, and they also linked it through, through the local media. I always forget his name. Doyle. It's Doyle. I always want to say Ghost, but I think it was Doyle. So, and they leaked it at the same time, right? Because they both published an article within seconds of each other, and both tweeted within a minute of each other. So it was obviously a coordinated briefing. Just those two journalists. The rest piggybacked onto it, including Fabrizio Romano, who's getting right on my fucking nerves. I'm not listening to him at the moment, guys. Certainly not with this. So it was obviously a coordinated leak that they wanted. Well, it's not a leak. Well, it is a leak. I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes a leak sounds like something that's come out that shouldn't have come out. So it's not that. A coordinated briefing, right? There we go. Local media and national media. No doubt about it. No, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. No doubt about it, right? Extremely, extremely suspicious. And why? Because, as you know, if you follow my videos, my content, the members website, whatever, I always say to you, when you see something out there, if something comes out tonight, 10 o'clock tonight, from Joyce at the Times, why are you reading it? Because Liverpool Football Club don't want to tell you everything that's happening. You're the fans, you know what I mean? But they're not going to tell you anything that's happening that might damage something or whatever. They'll tell you something when you need to know, right? That's why they've got their own official website, which we call the Offal, just in case you don't know. That's the nickname. If you want to be super trendy, it's called the Offal. That's the nickname, and it has been since the late 90s, early 2000s. So, why am I reading? I always do it. Every single bold claim from a credible journalist, not from the clique of LFC journalists, not them people. I won't name names, but basically, if it's not Joyce or Ornstein, they're in the clique, and they all agree with each other. You know what I mean? And that low level ones, some of them might have been back in the day when people used to buy newspapers, might have been like pretty worth listening to and that, but they aren't now. Trust me. That's why they've got YouTube channels and stuff like that, trying to stay relevant. And then they say the controversial stuff because that gains more attraction, more traction, sorry. They do get the odd bit from the club, but only the really boring stuff. Do you know what I mean? Not the big juicy stuff. That's reserved for the big gun. I didn't say big guns. Did you notice that? The big gun, Paul Joyce. Now, Joyce is connected to the club, to the people that run the club on a day-to-day basis. Ornstein is more ownership, more people, FSG, associated to the club, but also people that run the club on a day-to-day basis. So there's a slight difference. So when you see something from Ornstein or Joyce, you can think to yourself, oh, that's likely come from the ownership side of things if it's Ornstein or whatever. Give me a drift. So I know many of you know this and it's like going over old stuff, but we have new viewers, right? So that's why we repeat things sometimes. So the club gets this information out there that we're going for Zubimendi. Why? Who did that benefit, guys? There's only one person or one entity it could benefit, and that's Liverpool Football Club. Right? Because they lean on those journos when they need something out there to help the club. It might be to help negotiations. It might be to help attract interest or generate interest in a player. What you don't do, ever, right, is leak who you're trying to buy. You leak who you're trying to sell because you want to generate more interest in it, right? So if this had come from Real Sociedad, we'd have understood, wouldn't we? We'd have gone like, oh, they're just trying to generate, oh, Liverpool, one of our players, you're going to make you move now, guys. Do you know what I mean? But you don't tell the world who you're trying to sign, especially if there's a release clause or a contract buyout clause. You don't do that because that's alerting your rivals to what you're doing and what you're thinking. And if they were watching and thinking of doing the same, they're now going to step up. So it's exceptionally strange and very, very rare for that to happen. So why did it happen? Now, there's the people that just don't like FSG, and understandable, and are frustrated with the bullshit and the way that they operate, right? They don't like this drama. Why can't we just go and sign a player and have it done? I agree completely with those people. And those people might be justified in saying, well, look at Caicedo last year. We had no intentions whatsoever of making that deal happen. Would have done it, they could have done it maybe, but they knew that they couldn't sign Caicedo last year, but they still did the bid. And you don't bid unless the player has indicated he wants to join you or whatever. So that was a load of guff. And we're led to believe, whether you want to believe it or not, it's up to you, but we're led to believe that that's because the club turned on Bellingham after Klopp had made assurances, spoke to the family, all this, allegedly. And at the very last minute, you remember that the Bellingham camp were on Merseyside or whatever. Some people said, no, they came to tell us they didn't want the move. How would they do that? Some people think, no, it was always Real Madrid. I don't think that. And I'm inclined to believe the people that I trust that have been around these parts for decades. And they're of the opinion that Klopp, the shit hit the fan. Many people think that's why Klopp ended up going. If you remember at the time, John Henry appeared out of nowhere, flew into the UK. Not with FSG, not with his sidekicks or cronies. Can't even remember if he had his split arse with him. Sorry. Linda, his wife. She's all right, Linda. I like Linda, she's all right. We've got more time for her than any of them, and not just because she's got a crack. Anyway, so he appeared from nowhere, which was the obvious thing at the time, that something's going wrong. The transfer, there was a mess. I can't remember when he flew in. I remember saying it was like a Craig David song, like John Henry flew in, clock kicked off Monday, John Henry flew in Tuesday, made a bid for Caicedo Wednesday. It was like fucking Craig David, you know what I mean? And they reckon that was a panic to try and show Klopp, oh no, we've got clout, we'll do this. Whether you believe it or not, it's up to you, isn't it? History now. However, whether we believe it or not, it falls into the thinking of some fans now that are thinking this is just, FSG making out they tried to do something. And then they can say, well, we tried, but the player never wanted us. Even if this deal fell apart for something else, you do know that that's when they would turn to the click journals as well to put out the message of player, he didn't commit in quick enough or whatever. Because that gets you on side then, doesn't it? Because we'll all go, yeah, fuck him then, right? If you want to come and play for Liverpool, we're Liverpool Football Club, we're not going to wait around another day. So that message would be portrayed or conveyed, even if it wasn't true, right? So brace yourself for that. I actually don't think it's the conspiracy theory here. I think Liverpool Football Club are genuinely trying to sign this player. But the reason why I think it was leaked, even though intentionally leaked, in my opinion, was, and I've said it many, many times, but you might not have heard me say it, is to keep the plan B very much alive. You might think, how does it keep it alive? Well, if there's a plan B and plan C, that means that Liverpool have spoken to other players, to other clubs, to other agents, right? And maybe the conversation wasn't going very well. Maybe the negotiating wasn't going very well. So all of a sudden, Liverpool leak, right? Oh, well, okay, then we're interested in this player now. We're going for him. Maybe if you come back later, maybe we can do something if you want to think about it. But we're going to go and try and sort this out now. That keeps them on their toes. So Liverpool then go and proceed with this. Jamal Lewis over here, Tsimikas over there, whatever. Think about it. This, because that's exactly what happened, right? So Liverpool continue to put the focus on this. If Liverpool think this ain't going to go anywhere, right before they get rejected, or at the split second they get rejected, they turn back over here. And they say, right, before we commit to him, even though that's not going to happen, are you sure you don't want to think about this? And they might just to save 5 or 6 million quid doing it. See what I mean? So this we call stacking, right? Because Liverpool probably think, well, we know we can get him for X amount of pounds, but they still don't give up on negotiating and playing the game. Ederson at Atalanta, I absolutely am convinced, I've said it all summer, that he's stacked. Liverpool know they could sign him. That's what I think, right? Some people might say Andre as well, the Fluminense player that Liverpool tried to sign. He's the only one Liverpool have actually tried to sign previously, but nothing came of it, right? But the point I'm trying to say here, I think I'm doing all right, is yes, this is receiving the attention, the focus, but I guarantee you there's someone over here next to my kettle, right, that Liverpool know they can get or make happen. And that's why there's no flapping at the moment. Now, there comes a point where Liverpool have to make a decision, of course. And you've got journalists out there telling you the obvious. Deadlines this, deadlines that. And this is why I'm really calm about it, guys, because I fucking know that if that doesn't come off, then there's something here. If they don't sign anyone this summer in that position, I'd be gobsmacked. And if they didn't sign someone this summer in that position, this would be my thinking. This just didn't happen, right? Forget it. He stayed loyal to his club. Good lad. So why did the one that stacked on that they know they could sign not go ahead? Well, just because they know they can make it happen doesn't mean that they will pay the money. So we know this player wants to play for Liverpool. He would come to Liverpool. Fluminense, let's say Mario Bittencourt, the president, I think his name is there. They've got the great relationship with Hulk Hogan at Liverpool, right? Liverpool know what it would cost, but it don't mean that they'll still pay it. But they just know it's stacked. They can make it happen if they want to happen. And that's why I think this was leaked at the very beginning. It is the most suspicious thing in the world. And if it collapses, this thing, I know that everyone will say it was all a ploy by FSG. They had no intentions. They went for the most difficult player that they could sign, to try and sign, to make it look like that. But what's it doing all the time this is dragging on? Think about it. All the time that that's dragging on, anyone on this side is more willing to do something because they're like, yeah, do you know what I mean? This is my chance to go and play for Liverpool, or this is a chance for us to cash in on this player. So mark my words, whatever's going on here, this hasn't just stopped. There'll be people on this side going, come on, come back over here, forget him. You come back to us. We're willing to do something. That will be happening, guys. And that's exactly what happened with Jamal Lewis and Tsimikas. The Jamal Lewis camp was still here. And then whether Liverpool went, fuck you, we're going over there, or whether they went, no, come back, we've got a good deal. And that's what happened. So would I be shocked if suddenly it was breaking news Liverpool had gone for someone else? I would have, fuck. No, not at all. But I'm not at that point yet. So we just have to wait and see what happens. Don't fall in to the madness of social media and X, which is quite funny, because I'm just going to open up X for you. But that's my job, to watch this shit for you, because I know which ones are full of shit, and I tell you what, they all are. But what I mean is, when it comes to journalists, they're not all full of shit. But I can see it. You see, my mum used to say to me, God bless her, you can't bullshit a bullshitter. When I used to try and lie to my mum, Duncan, because she would call me Duncan if I was in trouble. If everything was right, don't put kettle on. But if I was in trouble, it was Duncan. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. In other words, I know how they play this game. I'm not calling myself a bullshitter here, but I know I know when I read these things, which I can see here in front of my screen. I know why. Like, there's an aggregator account here talking about Luis Diaz, and I know immediately where they've got that from. But they'll be passing it off as their own. But I know where it's come from today because I monitor everything. I don't think you guys realise how sad I am. Well, you've seen my workstation and the things I monitor. If anyone mentions Thuba Mendes' name, I would anywhere in the world on the internet, other than social media, because that would be too much. But if a news article was published anywhere in the world or on a blog or anything, I'd receive an email instantly. So yeah, I've got this stuff pretty locked down. So I see a lot of these things come out and I think, yeah, I know where that's come from. And that's why I make videos for you guys or post information on the members website saying, if you hear this today, I can tell you where it's come from. Anyway, I'm just looking at all this shit. Talking about this deadline. It's just, they're like fucking children. So please don't listen to them. All right, guys, I'm going to go. We're doing a live stream on here at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock today. If you can't make the 2 o'clock one, come to the 7 o'clock one, because anything that's said in the 2 o'clock one will be said in the 7 o'clock one, right? So do come along for a natter, a little chat with me. I'll be doing those streams every weekday this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday at 2 and 7 UK time, all right? And of course we'll be doing a deadline day all day. We've got 17 hours and 16 minutes to beat, I think, from last year. I think we're doing that this year on deadline day. I'm as cool as a cucumber. I'm not panicking, guys, at all with this, and I would urge you to do the same. If you appreciate my efforts, doesn't necessarily mean you agree with me, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. The comments are the most important thing. They get me through the day. Every time I go in that room there for a didgeridoo, a Michael Knight, a threatening bit, I take my phone with me and I read what comments you've got to say. I wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning for a piss, because when you're getting older, you end up going to the loo a lot more, those fellas. I'm staggering around, I'm like that, reading comments. I need your comments, you know what I'm saying? And if you want to buy me a beer, I'm not really in the mood for a beer though, not yet. Ask me later today when it falls through, I might change my mind very quickly. If you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, hit the super thanks button. It's a little love heart under my video. But when you hit it, when you click it with your mouse or your finger, just go, I love you, Dunk, at the same time. I can't hear you, but it'll seem more meaningful. You know what I mean? If you don't want to do that, if you don't want to use that, read the video description. We've got PayPal and Revolut. So I think I've got 40 euros in my Revolut account. I don't know how to get it out. I don't know if I'm too old, guys, honestly. You can tell I didn't get a tax. Well, no, I'll rephrase that. You can tell I didn't have to pay any tax money this month, or else I've fucking found a way to get at it. I think those payments start next month. I'm always moaning about my tax payments. If you're new to my channel, you don't know what I'm talking about. First week of September, that'll cheer me right up. Hey, it's my birthday next month. It's my birthday, my 50th birthday. I've had an email sent to me. All right, okay. What was I saying? Yeah, it's my 50th birthday next month. What are you getting me? You gonna get me a present? No. All right then. Well, you can maybe thumbs up the video instead then. 50 years of age. That would mean, I think my maths is right here, that would mean I've given more than half of my life to Cop Talk. Can you believe that? I hope I can do another 25, 26, 27 years or something like that. Do you reckon FSG will ever go? I do. I think they will go. FSG killed it for me, really. I've got to be honest with you. I don't like the way that things are, to be honest with you. But then your top reds will come out and tell us how lucky we are and all that, and how to save us, you know what I mean? See that bit of milk that's left there? That's more exciting than FSG. That's what I think. Oh, The door closed. Oh, maybe it was my mum come to see me. Cheers, guys. Speak to you in a bit.